Tax season. It's here, it's now, it's upon us. And probably most of you have filed your tax returns as we sit today, but if you have not, I have a few tips for you. Number one, if you are in the midst of a divorce, you do not want to file a joint tax return with your partner if you do not believe the income they are reporting on their tax return is correct. If you are going to take a position in your divorce that your husband or your wife is grossly underreporting their tax income or their income, do not sign a joint tax return. That is the category that is available for you if you have that problem, is married filing separately. So do not sign a tax return if you do not agree with the income that your spouse is reporting on that tax return. Obviously, if you agree with the income that they're reporting and it benefits the two of you to file jointly, which it likely will, go ahead and file jointly. Then the two of you need to decide how you're going to deal with that interim tax refund if you're going to get one, and how you're going to divide it. Generally speaking, it's a good kind of backup plan that your tax return and refund, if you get one, will be equally divided between the two of you. This is a great time to use that refund, if you have one, to pay for your lawyer, to pay for fees for your own place, deposits for your own house, things of that nature, with that little bit of a lump sum cash. And typically you would be entitled to about half of it. If there's a dispute about how to divide that up, you're going to want to ask one of the lawyers that's involved to hold that money in their trust account to distribute later. So if you fall into one of those categories, be sure to ask your lawyer how you can secure that tax refund so that it doesn't get spent or dissipated. All right, tax consequences for child support and alimony modifications. Now, we all know that some income is taxable and some things are not taxable. So your tax return is only going to be applicable here if all of your income is taxable. If you are military and you have a lot of non-taxable income, it's not a great place to look at your tax return to determine how much your income is. But let's assume that everything on your tax return, you're filing now, and you notice that you have a significant change in your income from when your initial final judgment or support order was entered. This would be a good time to talk to your attorney about whether or not you might be a candidate for some type of modification, whether it be alimony and the amount you're paying, or child support and the amount you're paying. And there's other factors to consider with that, but that might be the first thing you look at. There have been some significant changes to the tax code, every client is going to have a slightly different impact for that tax code change. If your income and your ability to pay your child support obligations or your alimony obligations are materially affected by the tax code changes, you may be able to modify your support obligations, and that would be something you want to look into. So that's a little bit about taxes, tax return, and tax implications on modifications.